So, we are back after a long break. Mickey, it is an absolute honor to have you on the Appauling podcast. Thanks for coming, man.
Thank you, Baba. Thanks for having me.
Tell me now, before we start, you are the founder, the top geezer, the head poncho of Leighton Paul. Is it Leighton and Paul? Is it Leighton Paul?
Leighton Paul.
Leighton Paul. So tell me about that, bro. How is that going?
Oh, good. Started it 2017. Worked for somebody for best part of 8-9 years first. Went to uni before that. Did a property management degree. That time during uni, I was selling TVs for Comet. Do you remember Comet next to Curry?
Oh my God, yeah.
Selling TVs for them. Whatever, everything else above, washing machines, all sorts. Good time of my life.
I might have seen you there.
Yeah, probably sold you.
You probably... This is a hidden agenda boy, bro. Here, that was a dodgy TV.
It's probably out of his warranty now, so I can't really help you now, bro. But yeah, I went to uni, did that, worked hard. I was terrible at school. We only knew each other from school on a friend level, but generally at school, I don't think they taught us how to revise. Because I didn't know how to be honest with you. I didn't know how to.
No one's taught anything in school. Survival, that's all that is.
But then uni became survival, because if you never pass the first year, you can't get onto the second. And that woke me up big time, And then, every day after uni, laptop open, working till 12, 1 o'clock, a little bit MSN and all that banter on the long side, keep the other side of the brain occupied.
MSN. Whoa, what a blast from the past.
Just give me one more, bring it back for one day.
Oh, man. Do you remember MSN? We'll come back to it, but do you also remember MySpace?
I never used it.
You never used MySpace?
Never used it.
No way.
Yeah,
I used to love that thing.
Did you?
Yeah. On there, it had, on your profile page, you can choose which music you have on there. That kind of represents you.
Yeah.
So silly. So before you were coming on, I'm very guilty of what everybody knows this. If you've listened to the podcast, I chat a load of shit. I act very confident and I speak very like I'm clued on, but I don't know anything about nothing. But I can hold a topic for about 30 seconds and then I run out of gas. So that's why I rely on other people. But I'm always doing bro science with everything and anything.
Yeah.
So if someone's got any issue, what I should do is just shut up and let them carry on. Instead, I'm like, have you tried this? And I ain't got a clue if it's going to work. I leave them to it.
Yeah.
The one thing I cannot just speak about is property.
Okay.
And I'm one of those guys who's always been fascinated. And in my head, the end goal, which everyone's been brought up to say is, the end goal is get on the property ladder.
Yeah.
We've heard that 1,000 times, all of us. But now finally I have a true professional who not only knows it, this is your day in, day out thing, isn't it? So I'm going to pick your brains like there's no tomorrow, bro.
Okay.
Everything to do with property. So let's start off with, what else does Leighton Paul do?
So main core of our business is lettings and property management. That's the core. So we manage a big portfolio of properties, over 600 in Wolverhampton.
Wow.
So
that is huge. 600 in Wolverhampton. Do you do any outside of Wolverhampton?
Yeah, Telford, Bedford, Milton Keynes, some in London, a lot in Birmingham too.
That's amazing, man. Congratulations, bro.
Thank you very much.
That's absolutely beautiful.
We haven't done any big, massive marketing campaigns. It's word of mouth. This is how it's been taken off. People, it's amazing because people it's like they work for you. Even though it's not that relationship, there's no boss. Even in my hierarchy of my staff, there's no boss and I'm your boss and this is who we are. We're all the same. Yeah. And same with our clients. We have a lovely relationship. We're like family, and they see our character, my nature, that the big thing for me, Seb, we'll come back to that in a minute, but I've got that attitude. I want to do stuff for you. You know what I mean? Because if you're selflessness in life, your rewards, they come themselves. Your service is there, your selfless is there. Things happen in the right way and people want you to do well for it. So because of that, people have just recommended people on and on and on. And from there, we've just basically just gone to we've got a chain. The biggest chain we're on is about 36. So
wow.
That person recommended that person who recommended that person who recommended that person, all to 36.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So you can say this. You can easily just say any of this and for us in the audience, but how can you back it up? I read your comments. So I always do a bit of due diligence before anyone comes on. I want to have a look at, what are you up to? I've read your comments, your reviews, bro. It's exactly what you're saying. So many people literally say your name and it's either Mickey or Martin. And they say, not only did I have a great deal or whatever, but he's gone above and beyond. He's done this and he's done that for me. And I'm like, you know, when you're reading through and you're like, yo, bro, you're proper like you're involved with all of them. And that's so beautiful to see.
In previous employment, you know, we've seen people who've made it to this point where they got loads of staff and they say, you handle this now. I don't need to handle it. But I don't know. I don't think that's the right attitude, because I had a tenant on the phone on the way here. They were asking about something to do with their contract.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, to be honest with you, they probably just finished work. You know what I mean? And they don't have that time in their day, in their lifestyle, to fit it in. But to me, it's just 2 minutes. You know what I mean? But it puts their mind at ease.
And see, you could easily have been like, well, no, it's not office hours.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing is that, oh, don't get me wrong, you know, wouldn't want it all the time, because I've got my own life and my own kids and stuff. But at the same time, the big thing for me is that you put people's mind at ease. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know this concept of seva, selflessness. Some people, our elders, they think they have to go to a gurdwara or a church or a mandir or a mosque or wherever you go and do your bit there and think this is seva. That's not seva. That is seva, but it's purpose seva. You know what I mean? It's for your cause. The real seva is what you do for that person that you don't know. If you see that old person crossing the street and they're struggling with their shopping, help them. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
You see someone here, you see someone there, do something for, you know what I mean? Don't expect nothing back. It comes back in a different way, you know what I mean? And you may even not, but that moment that person was helped, you don't forget it, do you?
No, that's, you know, oh man, I cannot say that. Yeah. That's so important. That is so beautiful.
And I think that nature of behavior, I think that has its own impact. It'll never go against you. Will it? Can it ever go against you?
No,
you know what I mean? No one's going to stop you and say, "Why the hell do you do that for that person?" You know what I mean? It doesn't work, does it?
A long time ago, my dad said this to me, and he said, "Try this one thing." And he said, and I've tried to do it as much as I can, but again, it's difficult because we want a pat on the back. Everyone naturally wants that. And he said, "Do a selfless act. Do something for someone, and don't tell a soul." He goes, you know, that feeling of like, can I keep this in?
Yeah.
Like, I did something for someone. And the first thing I did, I came home, I told my missus, I got out myself, I was like, oh, there's a geezer. And then the first thing she said to me was, she goes, oh, well done. The moment she said, well done, I went, oh, man, I messed up there. Like, I shouldn't have told no one. I've helped for that person. No one else should know and should be. Exactly like you said, seva doesn't have to be in the gurdwara, you know, washing 100%. The dishes.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to do that. It's community, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it extends in the real world as well. You know what I mean? Sometimes it can go against you. I remember once I was a Fold Street car park, icy day, snowed everywhere. Poor lady slipped. She was running and, you know, when you're running and about to fall. So I came to the rescue, went away, got speared, man. Went right through my... I was like, this ain't seva, man. This is something else.
This is punishment.
This is WWE. I was looking everywhere for Jerry Lawler, JR.
Someone's about to pin you any second.
I was like, no, this ain't something else. This one is. I'm looking for a referee. He's going to get to 3, man. He's going to tell you to tap out.
The fact that that's in your mind, like, you know, that you're running a business and you're super successful. You got a massive empire. It's all going the right way. And you're still thinking about being selfless and trying to help and trying to be of service.
Yeah,
man, this is really important, man. I want people to know this. This is brilliant.
Thank you.
Again, with the drawback, like you mentioned, obviously we're joking with the spear, but how does it? Where do you differentiate the line when it comes to your business? So when you've got, you know, tenants and you're managing people's properties, what is too much?
Well, the thing is, there's a balance in everything, you know, a balance in how you live your life and a balance in every cause. And with this situation, someone's got a genuine problem. You know, my boiler's leaking. Mm-hmm. That needs to be fixed. House, you need hot water. You need to use the heating. That's important. That's, you know, I mean, every time I get in the shower, thank God for clean hot water. I really do. And my wife thinks I'm absolutely potty for it, but I do every day. You know, it's the first thing that comes to my head. You see these videos about poor kids suffering in different countries, and you think, I've just turned the shower, I've got hot water. You know, especially on cold days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to if you're going to live like that, somebody else should be living like that too. But then if somebody says, you know, my door handle was broken, you fix it. If it's broken again, and you know that a good person's put a good strong handle on there, how are you opening it? Or, you know, not a door handle, but, you know, something to that level. Sometimes you have to investigate further. Think, you know, your property is your business. You know, it's not, you can't just say, I bought a property now, that's it. We look at it as a business. So we have to look at, you have to expect your profit and you have to expect your loss. Yeah. You know? So you can't just take the rent and not kind of put something back in.
Yeah.
But equally, you shouldn't be putting too much back in where certain things you don't need to do. So where that line to say, yes, this is and legal, obviously.
Yeah.
This is what you should be doing. This is what that you don't need to do. So the balance is that what is legally required and what you can do out of the nature. Like you can have a tenant who absolutely looks after that property, loves it, pays the rent on time, and don't have to do a certain thing, but you still do it because you think, keep them happy. But then what you don't want to do is the whole pattern of that where it happens regular, and they get used to it. And the minute you say no, you're the worst person to build. You know what I mean? So you have to know that, these things, we shouldn't be doing it, but we're doing it for you, but we can't keep doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So don't take advantage of my nature, basically.
Yeah. But equally, I would never want anyone to live in any of our properties and be under any, problematic situation.
Any situation.
Happy about anything. It doesn't work like that.
You look after your people, man.
100%.
Yeah.
You can't, you do get your people that get unhappy. I mean, we have to talk about the natural side of stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like not everyone, you're going to have your few people who get upset about certain things and, they try to take it out on you. But in our position, we just got to diffuse as much as we can and keep our standards high. You know what I mean? That's the most important thing,
Property itself. So you said you first worked at Comet.
Yeah.
And then you went to university.
Yeah.
And you studied business management, was it?
No, property management.
Oh, property management.
Yeah.
Ah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said business. So that's why you went into property. Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you want to study that then?
Well, the reality is that when I went to our lovely school careers teacher and I told her that I want to become a dentist, she looked at my grades and said, you okay? We got some, we can't give you passage, but go and get some from Woolstone shops.
From spas.
She goes, yeah, dude, that would, I was just barely getting my English and maths, pass. That's what I mean. Everything went backwards for me.
Okay.
So like school was like, D's, C's. Uni went from first year C's, second year all B's and A's, and the last year was all A's. So, but the thing is, at that time, what I desired to do wasn't realistic, But then my relative said to me, go into property. I was like what? That estate agency or something. At that time, the market was booming.
Okay.
You could just fill a form.
Yeah.
Send to the bank, and they'll give you the money for a mortgage. It was that easy.
Wow.
So people thought, you know what? These estate agents are killing it.
Yeah.
Imagine like you're selling 30, 40 houses a month, you're making 3-4 grand commission. You guys get into that.
You're loving life.
Yeah. But then as time went on, I thought, you know what? And if I'm doing property management, I want to, and if I'm doing about 14, 15 hours a day, it was hard studying, then I want to make sure that I'd do that. Because what was the point of grafting all that in uni? But I love it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
What's good to know is yours is backed by education, as in you're qualified.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're not just the uncle that sells houses.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of that as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But they fall off.
Yeah,
they do fall off. They do fall off. I've seen a lot of come and go because it's not as easy as it looks. Regulations, laws are changing crazy. There's one massive law coming in now. Not law, but it's it will become law. It's called renters reform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's so many rules that are coming in place now.
So what is that renters reform?
It's basically
is that something to do? They can't
laws on eviction.
That's right.
Anyone's will go and this, that, the other. And to be honest, I get it, but I think what the issue is there, it's you're putting too many rules in place. You're making it harder for landlords who want to be landlords. The only reason that they probably still stay as landlords because they can't find a safer way to put their money and release, equity when they need to, pass it on to someone, give it to kids and, give them a better future. But, when you mix it all together, it does make the industry a lot harder because what happens is you generalize the whole country. Like, for example, there used to be this thing called application fees. Every time a tenant wanted a property, or if they renewed their tenancy, we'd charge them. We'd charge sensible numbers like 75 quid for a year.
Yeah.
But then some agents were charging 200 quid for the year. London was charging 750.
Oh my God.
I know. Just to, I mean, don't get me wrong. There is a process and it isn't a big process, but it's still communication and timing, to cover the costs and wages.
Yeah.
But got to the point where they just said, tenants can't pay fees anymore.
Wow.
And in this industry where we are today, that if that was in place and they stopped it right now, you'd be losing about 200 grand a year. It's crazy with the numbers that, you know what I mean? And the thing is, I get it because you still make money, which is good, but they should have just capped it at a certain price.
At a certain price.
You know what I mean? They said, hey, you can't go beyond this, and that's it. but it feels like they're doing loads of things to make it harder.
You know, with the current climate, the way it is, would you, if you had to start now, would you go into it now with the housing situation being the way it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, this reform, renters reform, it's a hurdle. You got to jump it.
Yeah.
Simple as, you know what I mean? The
Just
thing
get
is,
over it, yeah.
yeah, it's what you know, is who you know. And we've got a good network of friends. A lot of friends have given us a lot of business.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, I think those people have recommended us to other people. One of our good friends, Navi, you know.
Enkang Estates.
I know, and that guy, you know, I hope I'm allowed to say this, and I think he'll give us permission, but he came to me and he goes, I want to get into property.
Yeah.
And I said, cool, okay, come to the office, let's talk, let's see where you are with everything. And he came in, we had a conversation, got him his first one, happy days. You know, he done well, we got a good one in Bradmore, lovely, you know, got a good rent for it, happy days. He's moving, he goes, yeah, later, he goes, I'm ready for the next one. At that time, I had someone selling a bit of a broken down kind of, you know, probate type of property. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of it. And we got him that, you know, he probably, from the minute he bought it, he probably made about 50 grand on it straight away. And then put work into it, made it nice, made it beautiful. And, you know, from that, you know, did the clever thing, put the money out, bought more and stuff like that, did amazing. But I've seen the guy for going from here to, say, 4 or 5 now.
Yeah.
And you look at that, you look at Jane, there are factors to it. There's a few factors. Is that property management, if it is done right, you'll buy more. If you give it to someone in the wrong hands and they just throw any tenant in there with, you know, they don't care about the experience, they're more about targets. I've never targeted my staff or my office.
Okay.
But if you start throwing targets, the staff panic, they start putting anybody in, they trash the house, and the person says, this ain't worth it.
Quality over quantity.
This isn't worth it. You know what I mean? Like if we have a bad, if you have a bad person, not a bad person, a person that we're not comfortable with in front of us, that we think won't be good for that property, we're not doing it.
We're not doing it.
If the landlord turns around and says,
I like that.
You took ages. I said, look, I'd rather do your good job. If you don't take it and do it yourself, not in a bad way, but I'd rather lose it than do a bad job for you. It's not worth a bad press. It's not worth them sitting in the pub saying, you know, Martin Leighton Paul Chander. You know what I mean?
Your name's going to be on it.
Yeah. I'd rather not have it. It's not worth it. Well, there's no money in the world.
To that point, when I spoke to Nobby when he put a picture up of a set of keys.
Yeah.
And he just put a picture of that in front of a door. And straight away I messaged him. I was like, whoa, this is huge. This is massive.
Yeah.
And then his next picture was a board. Yeah. And it said Leighton Paul. Leighton Paul. As soon as it said that, I was like, yo, this is a no-brainer. Like you said, we all went to school together.
Yeah.
And it's just good to know that your friends are now giving you business as well. 100%. And you're looking after them as well.
100%.
But Novi, for people that don't know, Novi is probably it's a little bit freaky. Mm-hmm. He's that freaky. Yeah. He's so disciplined. Like I've never known a human being to be as disciplined in not just one thing, in every aspect of his life. So I'm not surprised he's getting 5-6 properties or go up to 10 plus.
Yeah.
Because of the way he treats it. Like he's so dedicated in his faith. Like I'm the devil when it comes to his faith. I'm always trying to push him. I'm trying to put him to the dark side. I'm like, I just go in, I'll leave it. He's just so on it. You know what I mean? And he's never, ever had a wobble.
Yeah.
So true to his faith. I love that about him so much. He's a devout Jehovah's Witness. And he's like, no, Sonny, this is how it is. And I love it. And like, if you talk to him, like you could say to him, I got plans. And he'll be like, yeah, no problem. I will cancel going to the gym for a mixed grill.
Yeah.
He will say, yeah, let's have a mixed grill.
Yeah.
And he'll be 5 minutes late because he's got to get that workout in. And that's like a testament to the way he is. Do you know what I mean? Like that discipline. I'm not surprised. He's smashing it, man.
Yeah. No, you know what? If he wants it, we'll make it happen for him. That's as simple as that, you know. And the thing is his nature as well. His nature, the way he is, that's shaped him to get these properties. You know what I mean? It's not greed. It's being humble, but also giving the people, the customer product. You know what I mean? And he's worked hard to get in that product. And he's doing well. I'm proud of him.
Fair play.
I love seeing it.
Yeah.
I love seeing it. Not just, it doesn't have to be Leighton Paul. It could be my friend. I could see him after 5-6 years. He'd say, yeah, I've got a portfolio of properties. I want the shake of the hand. I'll give him a hug and say, good for you.
Good for you, Anna.
You got to be happy for people.
Yeah.
You know what
Oh,
I mean? 100%.
The amount of I put up clips of people, I've made points where I've said that to just be happy for someone shouldn't be something that someone has to point out to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It should naturally come to you. And if it doesn't, then that's your time to reflect. You need to go away and ask yourself, well, why am I hating this person?
Yeah.
Why don't I like, why am I feeling it? Like I say to Nobby all the time, Aman all the time, I say, if you want to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Yeah. People say, don't talk to yourself. It's a sign of being crazy. I think that's bullshit. You've got to speak to yourself, and you've got to say to yourself internally, if everyone just be like, lie to the world. I've said this so many times, lie to the world. Don't lie to yourself. Yeah. Like, I lie to the missus all the time. I'll be honest with you, yeah. Do I look fat in this? Babe, you look great. I haven't looked up once. Do you know what I mean? One of them ones, like the kids, like, Dad, is Santa coming? He's fucking, he's coming, don't worry about it. The whole world I lie to, white lies, whatever. But to myself, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
And like, if I see something and I'm feeling a bit of like jealousy, which is a natural human instinct, don't try and push it away. Embrace it. Say, I'm feeling something here.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a bit of hate towards this guy because he's got this X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
So what I need to do is channel that. And say, well, I'll also be there too.
Yeah.
Well done, bro.
Yeah.
I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Help me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How did you do it? Ask him, talk and embrace him. For some reason, our culture is so toxic. Do you know what I mean? Ours are like, have you seen so-and-so? Fuck, I bet his dad gave him that.
I've lost a lot of family because of this.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a theory, yeah. Hear me out on this theory.
Oh, I love theories.
Okay, so your family, they're known you as a kid, especially like your elders, isn't it? They're known you as a kid. So they know everything that you've been through. I'm a single parent family. Mum, dad passed away. I was only 5 months old. So
wow.
So my mum, absolute legend. She smashed it.
Yeah.
She's done well. Got 2 older brothers and the diamond geezers. You know what I mean? So no issues there. We're on the right path. Don't do anything bad in life. We go to work, earn our money, feed our kids, pay our bills, and enjoy holidays and whatever. You know what I mean? So if you do well, your family who's seen you struggle and have times you had nothing, some days you had no money for crisp, you know what I mean? But if they're seeing that, but they're hating on you now, you know what? That's motivation. That's like, great, I'm going to keep doing it. Yeah. I want to go even better. I want you to hurt more. But then that being said, if some random guy or a friend doesn't like you, my job to say, what's wrong, man? But if I've done something, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Because that person might just have a general gripe about you for some reason. And with someone who's not family, you always want to make it right. You know what I mean? Because you don't know that. You don't know who they are, what they do. And it's not about fighting in this world. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then, but with family, it's different. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because they know your life. Yeah. And if they can't rate you or respect you or give you just kudos, just anything, you know what I mean? And they've got a grudge about, you bought a house, you got a nice car. If they're bitter over that, and you don't want them in your life. You know what I mean? The family, there's only a limit to how much you can take. But if it's a stranger, you think, how do we work this out, man? You know what I mean? Because I don't have anyone thinking about it.
So I couldn't say it any better, bro.
You know what I mean?
Well, what do you do with a limb that doesn't work?
Yeah.
Eventually, it's toxic to the body.
Yeah.
It has to be removed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are people that you just got to get rid of. If you've got to make the cut.
Yeah.
I made a post and I said something. I made a clip about it and I posted it. And my mom would just every now and again have a look at my stuff.
Yeah.
And she randomly will just give me a passing comment on something.
Yeah.
And she goes, huh? I said, what? And she goes, why'd you say that? I said, what? She goes, no one's going to ring us anymore. Because I basically said on there, I was like, the root cause of everything in terms of like our problems when it comes to parents and yourselves is the toxic auntie. Yeah. There's a toxic auntie in everyone's family that's just giving the wrong information to your family. Like, why is she doing that? Why is he with her? And what, you know what I mean? The gossip, I can't stand gossip, but that's prevalent amongst friends as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
But there's a saying, isn't there? There's a saying that's it's not about what they'll say to you, it's what they'll say about you when you're not with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if one of your boys is rating you to your face, you don't know if it's real or fake. But if you're not there and someone's talking about you and they're still rating you, that's real.
And the other way around is if someone comes to me and says, which just happened, someone's come to me and said, oh, so-and-so said this about you. I won't say, how dare he? I always say, and what did you say?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And they always look at me like, oh God.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I didn't want the aggro. Then I realized like, okay, if they're comfortable enough to say these things to you, you must have said something as well.
Well, it's true.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like this Express and Star article about us. Yeah. So,
oh yeah, man, Express and Star. How do I forget? First of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So please tell everyone before we go on, what is going on with Express and Star?
So,
what have you been nominated for, man?
Express and Star have put an article up for us because we've been nominated for the best property management national award, best property management company in the whole of the UK.
The best,
only one in Wolverhampton,
the best, bro,
as well. So
you're representing Wolverhampton as well.
Yeah.
That makes my day. That does.
Yeah. So they're doing that, and we're going to Mayfair on the 28th of November. Park Lane, Grosvenor Hotel.
Nice. I only know about these places from the Monopoly board.
Yeah. So we're going there, representing our company, our city, doing our best there, and
that's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge.
And people have been sending the Express and Star link to each other, and in their groups on WhatsApp and everything, saying, "Oh, he's a nice guy. He's a lovely chap."
That's nice. And
my mates have been forwarding and sending screenshots, saying, "Look what they're saying about you." Wow, I love it.
That's beautiful.
Warms up my heart.
That speaks volumes about who you are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honestly, bro, you should take look at that, and you should know, and you should be proud of yourself as well. You're on the right place, not just business wise, but as a person. Sometimes to be a good businessman, you got to be ruthless, cutthroat. You got to be an asshole.
Yeah.
And there are those people. There's more of them than there are of you. But to be someone that's so grounded, so selfless as you are, and be a successful businessman, that's brilliant, man. That's absolutely
the whole cutthroat thing never worked for me.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be acting. You know what I mean? There's not. Why do that? Why go on a stage? You know what I mean? It's like, the thing is, don't get me wrong. You do get upset and frustrated, happening day to day, but a bit of love.
Yeah.
Come on. And if he does get a bit frustrated, and you show that frustration, but it's never throwing things across the room and raising your voice to extreme decibels. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, what are you doing? And giving a bit of reality. We can't carry employing you if you're gonna be no good to the company.
Yeah.
The focus always with the business has always been customer service all the time. It's never changed. It's always been, guys, I don't care how many lets we do. I don't care how many managed we got by the end of the year, as long as it's not a lot lower than where we are now. But service.
Yeah.
Service. That's what's taken us where we are. That's what's taken us. I mean, our Google reviews, they're on 4.8, but over 200.
Look at that.
And you know what? The ones that are generally the 1-star ones, we'll talk about it because there's nothing to hide. I mean,
yeah.
It's sometimes it's been like, you got a viewing and 30 people show up, and then you have to give it to only one. You know what I mean? And then the other people who didn't get it will say, you did this.
Yeah.
And I get that. I do get it, but obviously not enough to put detriment to your name. But at the same time, what can you do? You can't do.
He's got to look at it as constructive criticism. Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, what can we do? You can't just have all moving together. You know what I mean?
So, some of you in that room, some of you in that room.
Well, it's not Dudley Road.
Exactly.
Dudley Road.
Speaking of your family, you were saying you got 2 older brothers. Before I forget, I don't know if I've ever told you this before.
Okay.
As people probably don't know, we went to the same school together. Highfields, a great Highfields. Which, by the way, have you been there recently?
I have it on purpose.
Why?
Because I want to remember what it was.
Yeah, don't go.
Yeah.
I was going to say that to you. So I wanted to take my kids. Yeah, my kid's always saying, "Oh, Daddy, what's Highfields like? What was your school like?" I was like, "Ajo, let's go look at the school." Get there now, and I wanted to show them, because you can't show them inside and stuff. But I said, "You're lucky because Daddy's form room was called a form room, was it?
Yeah.
Daddy's form room was in the north block. It's a massive tower. As you drive in, you see it right there. And I said, Daddy's class was N26, 25, something like that. And I said, that's right there. So you can see Daddy's class. They were hyped. I brought them to the pinnacle. They're in the window, like, here we go. But down the road, turn. Bro, it's all knocked down.
Yes,
none of it's there. Looks like a nightclub.
Yeah.
The thing's it's unbelievable. And I get lost everywhere. I tell you, I get lost in Golfthorne, in my own estate, yeah? So at one point, exactly. I was like, my missus at one point was like, are you sure this is your school? Because everything you've described is not here. And I was like, no, it's definitely my school.
Yeah.
But it's all changed, man.
The hut's at the back.
Oh, so Oman went there as well, in Highfields, yeah?
Oh, fair play.
Oh, sorry, you're on a mic yet. Oman said that they knocked it down when you started. Okay. So was the South... Was it the South? Where did we... For sixth...
Block was the
South block, the sixth form.
That's a new building, the South block was.
Was it? The common room.
Yeah. No.
We had a common room or whatever.
For
sixth form?
Sixth form. No.
Was that South block? What was that area that was in the playground?
Yeah, that's that little hut there.
Yeah, the hut.
I don't know the South block.
But that's not South block.
The South block is the one where... where the main hall was, and you're looking that way.
Yes,
and
yes,
the hut behind it.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. So did they still have that sixth form hut thing? No. Oh wow.
No, the South block. That's a new building. That was
everything got knocked down. Yeah.
There's
That's
swimming pool in
mad.
there.
There's
Okay.
it's half and half. Half the outside.
Oh, so
It's a
so it's
Oh,
half-
okay.
so
Yeah,
there is so there is a swimming pool, but shared. And wow,
Oh, okay.
there was nothing like that when we were there. Do you know what I mean?
Puddle.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's about it, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, so Highfields, going back to that, your brother.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know which one it was.
Yeah.
I was a shy little kid. Year 7, I didn't realize all my family was at the school. I knew they were there somewhere, but when you first couple of weeks, you don't know who anywhere else.
Yeah.
So the teachers for the first week, I think the dinner ladies were aware that year 7s don't know what they're doing. So they came down. They said, "Go get your lunch." Now I walked in, and when you're just a massive swarm of kids, it's the first time you get like a proper culture shock. Like I went to an all-white school, so when I saw Asians, I was like, "Where's the James and Steves?" Do you know what I mean? I was like, I'm getting frightened here. There's too many Asians.
Yeah.
So I was very shy, and what I ended up doing was I just stayed near the wall and like got out the line, and I just sat down. I was like, I don't want to do this. I want someone to watch, figure out how to do it myself, not go into it. Overwhelmed, too shy. Your brother was on that table.
Okay.
So I just sat down, like tried to like get out there, like I didn't want to be in the whole thick of it. And your brother just casually was talking with his friends, and he said, "You okay?" I said, "Yeah, don't talk to me." Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't want to. I was too shy.
Yeah.
And he said, "Where's your food?" And I just made something up at the time. I can't remember what I said, but I remember I stuck in my memory. This is, and I said, "No, I'm okay. And he said, "You realized that you got scared and just left the queue and just sat down."
Okay.
And he goes, "Come on." So he left his food, left his mates, came, took me, didn't hold my hand, but said, come on, stood in the queue with me and just casually just sat there, just stood there, just talking to me. So I'm in the queue, he's on the outside of the queue, and just spoke to me all the way to get my food. And then even said to me as well, and he said, like, "Do you want me to?" And I was like, no, it's okay. And he goes, "Okay." And then just sat there.
Wow.
And like, I must have said thank you to him, about 100 times in my head. Like while I was there, I was like, "Thank God," like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I sat down. But then by the time I came back, he had got it and whatever. And I think I've seen him maybe a handful of times after that.
Yeah.
And just like passing hello. And he'd always make a point of saying hello. Like he probably ain't gonna even recognize I had a little goodie back then.
Yeah.
But like in my head, I was like, and this makes so much sense, with you being the way you are.
Yeah.
No wonder you had those brothers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, he's a good bloke, especially with food. Like he has this thing. He's never talked about it. We've never talked about it, but I know he's got this thing. He won't spend big money on anything, but if he'll take you to a restaurant and you look at 3 dishes that you think are interesting, and in your head you think, "I'm going to go order one," he'll get you all 3.
Oh, nice.
In it, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Make sure you got something in you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's nice.
He's got that in him. You know what I mean? And when we lived together, I'm starving. What we gonna eat today? And there are times where he's eaten, but I'll say to him, "I'm starving." You know what I mean? And he'll make it his job. He'll bug him until I've had something. You know what I mean? That's his nature.
Yeah.
He's got a big heart like that.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And that's so apparent as well. You can see it with the way you guys are.
Yeah.
So I've only met the one brother.
Yeah, the other one's he's about 7 years older than me.
Okay,
so,
is he? Okay.
Yeah, so he would have gone. By then. By the time you got there, he would.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, but he's like that as well. To be fair,
is he?
Yeah, well, he's a bit more reserved and quieter.
Yeah.
But not a bad bone.
Are they both Wolverhampton as well?
Yeah, Penn.
Yeah.
Both
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it, man.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
So, bro, I wanted to talk about, seeing as we've talked about school, when I remember you back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't want to offend you, yeah? But you was 3 times the size of what you are now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to refer to you with my mates as, "Oh, where's Big Mickey?"
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
"Oh, where's Big Martin?"
Yeah.
And now you are the smallest thing ever. Like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? First of all, what happened? How did you do this? Intentional.
Yeah, 100%. Well, putting it on wasn't intentional. Yeah. But I think the thing was with me, I think, you know how this life is so cruel, and you hear it, nothing surprises you now, innit? Like, this person passed away, that person was happened to this person, and you think, I hope nothing happens to me, not because of me, but for my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I take my little one park run now. I'll run with her every Sunday morning.
Oh,
when
nice.
people are, recovering from hangovers and stuff, I'm out there running with my kid. You know what I mean?
Yes, bro.
And I think it's what you do. Like, for example, my peers, mom and dad's side, were, full enjoyment Monday. And I think you take after that. Eat out, do this, do that. So naturally that becomes a norm. You know what I mean? And then as you get older and you think, we just can't get off a sofa or something or another, but you do get normal. It's normal life being big as well. It's not like you can do everything anybody else is doing other than hardcore athletics or football or running, whatever. But to me, I just looked at my kids and I thought, I want to be around as long as I possibly can. You know what I mean? Because I need to be there for you. This world is cruel. You don't know. I've got 2 girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, they're married and this and that. You want to protect them. You want to be their umbrella. You know what I mean?
100%.
You want to be their haven. And the thing is, if you're doing things to yourself that are slowly killing you or can get you to catch you just like that, like a heart attack or something, you don't know. The thing is, and, you change their life as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially girls. If you see how much girls do for their parents, is unreal.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And so I wanted to make a change, but what I can't be, sorry for my language, but what I can't be bothered with is prepping. I'm going to have to do it now because I'm getting into weights now. So I'm going to have to do something. But when people put on Instagram or Snapchat and they got this tub, that tub, broccoli, then you put this on there. Then
okay, meal prepping.
Yeah, okay. I know. I can't. You know what I mean? This is only a matter of time before you think.
Let's stop there then. Okay, so before we get into that, let's just put it into context, a bit of perspective for everybody, that people that don't know you perhaps. So like from what I remember, you were humongous. Yeah. So like how much, if you don't mind saying, how much weight have you lost since then?
70 kg, which is 10 stone.
70 kg, 10 stone. Bro, that's probably my 3 kids put together. That's unheard. In what time frame are you looking at?
Months.
Whoa, bro, that's like a human being. You just let go of another human being.
I know.
That is unbelievable. Okay, how did you do that?
1 meal a day. Okay, Monday 1 meal, Tuesday 1 meal. The meal I have is HelloFresh because it's me and my wife.
Okay.
So say, when you make roti dal and whatever, pasta, whatever, you always make too much. You waste food, So HelloFresh for 2 people, 3 meals, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Wednesday, I'll have my last meal and I'll do a 40-hour fast. So I won't eat until Friday.
Okay. Do you still drink water?
Loads of water.
Okay.
Loads of water. And Friday, after my 40 hours are done, I'll probably take it to about 44.
Yeah.
Just to push myself a bit more. Friday onwards till Sunday, full enjoyment. So you got the balance. You know what I mean? So you don't miss it too much. You're still like 3 days, really, essentially. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the more I lost, the more these full enjoyments were getting less enjoyable because your body would hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So which is fine. Like I'm happy with it. I've gone from 2XL to medium. I've gone from 44 waist to 34 waist. Any fit from next, you know what I mean? I'd never think that.
Wow.
So I've gone to that, and I think, well, and the thing is that during working hours, you're working anyway.
Yeah.
So if you try not to think of food, like as more and more I stopped thinking about it or shrugged it off, and it was in my head, it became a thing where I don't think about it at all now. I'll eat my meal, I'll have my vitamins and stuff like that, so my body's getting what it needs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do everything in that way. And on the weekends, I'll still enjoy myself. So if I have to go out, I'm a vegetarian.
Yeah.
So I need my need fix once a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need that. You need some chips. You need to try, not all of that in the same week, but some, different times. I'll just have it on the weekends but within reason as well.
My brother, you look beautiful.
Thank you, man.
Okay, I'm telling you straight. I'm so proud of you. You look absolutely amazing.
Thanks.
So, like, what are the energy levels like? You're during the fast.
Right, no problem.
Yeah, and then when you come off it, is there like when you have your first meal, is there a bit of a crash or any drawbacks?
Because the HelloFresh stuff I have, they kind of cover all nutrients and it's a healthy meal.
Oh, okay.
So you can't really, sometimes I do a 72-hour fast, but I'll go straight into like a naughty meal. That hits you like a buzz. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, why have I done that? You know what I mean? And then it knocks you about a bit as well. So I tend not to go deep big time on there now. You know what I mean? I just have, I'll ease in. I'll go to Tesco, buy one of fruit platters or something and just ease in. But I miss regular food then. So what I used to crave at the start of my diet, which is like paneer or pizza or something, I crave a sandwich. Just a sandwich with a packet of Christmas.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean? So your mindset changes straight away.
Yeah.
And I walk a lot. So in my job, I have a lot of telephone calls.
Yeah.
So instead of sitting at the office, swinging back on my chair, turn the noise cancellation off, go for a walk and talk. Once I got to about 8 months on the phone to like so many people. You know what I mean? They didn't know because they can't hear the noise.
Yeah, yeah. You're just walking.
Perfect.
That's
yeah.
brilliant. Is there any advice you would give to people for the hunger pangs? Is there any way to suppress those, overcome those? Because obviously you've got your mind frame in, right? You know, I'm going to fast. I'm going to do this. But when you're in like, I don't know, like hour 20, do you know what I mean? And it's really kicking in. Is there something you do, maybe a little life hack?
Well, sometimes you need the right tools around you anyway. So, for example, get an app. I've got an app called Zero. And it tells me how much time I've got left and what stage your body's at. So, like,
okay,
they'll tell you your body's in keto mode, which is the highest level of fat burning. Yeah, deep ketosis.
Yeah.
And when you see that, you think, you know what I mean? Keep going. You know what I mean? Do it. You know, you know, that'll change your mindset straight away.
It becomes a
and
game.
Your pain becomes energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know, you get that, but then naturally, if you can't, like, if it's the start of the day and you're used to having a big breakfast and you're going to feel pain, have a black coffee, no milk, no sugar, just straight up black coffee. That'll give you something. You know what I mean? There's calories in it, but it's not enough to take you out of ketosis.
Okay.
You know, so there's things like that. You're allowed 2 cups a day or something. You know, something.
Okay.
Yeah. So things like that. But as you get, there's a saying in no pain, no gain. But as you keep going, at the very start, that pain will give you the most gain, which is, you know, you lose more at the start.
Yeah.
But then now, like, if I went on Friday and I lost £1, that's a massive victory.
Yeah,
you know
of course.
What I mean? Because like it's now like 18 stone now.
Yeah.
So I know that I'm not craving to be 12 or 11 or 10. I'm happy where I am. But at the same time, if I put on 1 or 2 pounds, it gets you.
Yeah.
I went on holiday. I was on holiday, about 12, 13 days.
Yeah.
And I weighed in. And I was 25 pounds. Yeah, I know a lot of it's water retention.
Yeah.
But on holidays, you want to enjoy yourself.
Of course.
Do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if you're all inclusive or something.
Yeah.
You can't go all inclusive and just have a salad for breakfast. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. So
sacrilege.
You know what I mean? So I weighed in. But then my wife had a lot of work to do. She's a head teacher, so she had a lot of work to do before she went back to work.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got, obviously, the kids, one's 5 and one's 1.
Yeah.
I said to her, listen, my team are amazing at office. They'll cover everything. I booked her a ticket to European countries.
Yeah.
I'll go there, stay in the hotel, get your laptop, work by the pool. I've got the kids, just chill.
Legend.
And then just do your work. You know what I mean? No stress, no tension. But what I did, I didn't tell her, but what I did, the day she left, I started a fast. The day she come back, 5 days later, 5 days, didn't eat nothing, you know, and then I just did a 5-dayer.
A 5, okay.
And you know that my weight, when I weighed in, it got to that. Was, you know what I mean? So all that holiday weight and gain that I did, just knocked it out.
Knocked it.
5 days. You do struggle, don't get me wrong. After day 2, it gets hard. But then after day 3, it gets easy.
And then day 4, the kids look after you.
Yeah. I know, yeah. She was like, when I told her, she's like, you mad, the kids? What if something happened to you? I go, what's going to happen to me? There's enough in my body to really fight away.
Bro,
you know?
okay. I think you're glossing over this so lightly. You're talking, you're saying things, yeah, that are just so casual. But 5-day fast. If I don't eat something for 5 hours, I'm there like, okay, my belt feels a bit loose already. Do you know what I mean? I'm patting myself on the back. I missed the meal.
That's the same as me though. When I wake up, I say, when we eating out today?
Yeah.
You know, when we're going to eat out today?
Yeah, what we having?
What we're going to do, what I'm going to get for lunch.
Yeah.
Mackey's, plant burger, I'm going to do this and go Mr. Things or something. You know what I mean? You just don't know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, as time went on, like, the more you're chomping it down and the more your body never reacted to it.
Yeah.
And just, you know, it felt like, you know, this ain't right. You know what I mean?
Would you say it's more of a mental game?
100%.
Yeah.
It's a light switch that's either on or off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the thing. And for me, I think the biggest motivation for me was my kids. You know, like I want, like I said, I want to do everything for them. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think if you know, the true wealth is your health. You know, it's true. You can be the most richest man, but you can have, look at Steve Jobs, the best example. You know what I mean? Look at everything he done. Look how much he's worth. You know. And he left us. You know what I mean? He left the world. And I'm saying left us like or something, but you know, but generally, like, you know what I mean? Like, but he left. You know, he's gone. And the thing is, he had everything. He could do anything he wanted. He could do anything he wanted, buy anything he wanted. You know, he could just enjoy it. But his health took him. And the thing is, if you can help that and do your bit to help it, it's good.
You know,
and fasting does. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, go
with fasting, after day 3, what happens is, don't hold me to this, scientists or anything, but what happens? Your good cells will find your bad cells and repair them.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
That's where you replenish your cells, apparently.
Yeah.
So like they say you do that naturally anyway, but when you fast, you do it to a level where you can't achieve it. To your point of Steve Jobs, ironically, did you know why he died?
He had cancer, didn't
he? So he had pancreatic cancer. Well, apparently it was curable. It was to a point where it could have been managed and treated.
Yeah.
But he chose not to. Instead, he went on a carrot detox. He took ill advice from someone and just said, "I'll do what's that stuff with the needles?"
Oh yeah.
Acupuncture and like some carrot detox, and that's why he died.
No way!
How mad is that?
Oh my god!
So like, there's an amazing clip by Chris Williamson, Modern Wisdom podcast. Amazing podcast. Highly recommend everyone listen to it. Changed my life as well. And he said something, and he said there are no adults, which basically means don't put people on a pedestal.
Okay.
And he gives an example of Steve Jobs. So like one of the greatest, tech geniuses and whatever, and yet he dies because he just didn't listen to the technology. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's gone. And there's so many examples of so many great people that have done amazing things, and they've all had got just simple little flaws. Do you know what I mean? So in the end, I think the thing to take away from it, we're all human.
Yeah.
We're all human.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story. When I was pregnant, one night, she was getting ghee, and mixing it with milk and drinking it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And I was like, "What you do that for?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh yeah, this auntie said,
the auntie,
if you, when you give him birth, baby will come out quicker."
Baby, I go grease it.
I was like, "I'll let love." I go, yeah. I was getting make a football team on the other side, ready to catch. I go, "He's on a baby." You know what I mean? I go, "It's not ping pong, mate." But you had to have a cesarean.
Oh, really?
I know. But I did that, yeah. After all that, you have to have a cesarean. And
all that horrible care you drink.
You get cholesterol at the same time.
I think Gear apparently is supposed to be healthy for you.
Yeah.
But I don't know about drinking it, man. In milk as well.
I know.
And when you're pregnant as well. I don't know about that. Maybe calories. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Again, for people, please take your own medical advice.
My God. I was like, "What are you doing, man?" I had to hide the tub. You know what I mean? I thought just in case I started drinking it for some reason.
I had a break from the podcast for about a month.
Mm-hmm.
One of my family members passed away.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. He passed away, and then so we had a break. Went on holiday, and then we started doing having the house renovated. So there's loads of things going on, and then we said, okay, let's do it. And I thought, I'm not going to train. I've taken a big break from training.
Yeah.
Like, I'm motivated so much more now because of you. But before this, I had a break from training, and then when we stopped the podcast, I was going to resume. I thought, let's go into it. Do you know the one thing that made me really get into it, and I really started training throughout that whole time? My 5-year-old, I think she's got a boyfriend, My 5-year-old, bro.
Damn.
I'm not even joking. So in school, she constantly talks when she's doing her homework and stuff. And she writes notes and stuff. And then in her book, when I open her book up, my missus showed me the other day, there was a note from a kid, a boy. And I was like, what is this? And then she, the little gadoo, she looked at me and she was like doing all that shy thing. And I was like, oh, when I talk to my missus, we make a deal now. Our thing is we are always team. We're on point. We're a team.
My wife, same.
Like if I strongly disagree with you, but I'll never show the kids.
Yeah.
When you're done being wrong, afterwards, I'm gonna tell you what was that?
Yeah.
But in front of you, I'm like, yep, listen to your mom. You know what I mean? So you got to do that. She goes, and I said, you got to keep me in check because I lose my emotions with the kids.
Yeah.
Because I got 3 girls, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
The estrogen levels in my house this high. You know what I mean? So I'm outnumbered as it is.
Yeah.
And they don't listen to me anyway.
Yeah.
So I always said to them, I said, look, it's down to you. Okay, I don't want to be the big bad wolf in the house. So if you see something that I'm going to disapprove of, have my back, and you tell him first. Don't make me the bad parent. She goes, all right. I saw that, and I'm looking at my missus like, please start saying something now.
Yeah.
She was like, it's cute, isn't it? And I was like, nah, forget this. I grabbed the book. I was like, what is this? Who's this guy? I'm going to ring the school. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so and exactly what you said, like you got to stay in shape for your kids.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking this. I was like, I've got 3 daughters. Like in my mind, I'm John Jones. Do you know what I mean? In my sick, twisted head, I think I'm still that guy from back in the day who can handle himself.
Yeah.
Never been in a fight, but can handle himself. Yeah. So I act like that.
Yeah.
But truth be told, I struggle to get out of bed. If I sit in the car for too long, my back hurts.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
I've got so many issues, and I think that's like, I'm not as strong as I used to. I'm not as in shape as I used to be.
Yeah.
I need to sort myself out. You know what I mean? And now you have motivated me so much. I'm going to make a clip out of this of what you said as well.
Okay.
You can lose 10 stone, 70 something pounds, kg, sorry.
Yeah.
Man, I'm pretty sure I can lose a couple of stone.
You're fine though. You're good, man.
Don't say that. It's oversized tops, man. You know what it is? My wife says this all the time as well. She says, whenever we go out, people compliment you. And she goes, but it's not good because you're not healthy. We eat takeaways all the time.
Yeah.
We never work out. And she said, so it's not good. I was like, yeah, you're right. We do need to sort ourselves out. It's this decision.
No, it's what can you do?
It's one of those, man.
Life takes over, doesn't it?
Yeah, fasting. I'm definitely going to look at fasting. It's something I want to do, not just for weight purposes. I think it's, like you said, cell regeneration, skin. It's supposed to be really good for
give
you.
yourself a break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, once a month I do a 72-hour fast just to test myself, and it is hard. But at the same time, time flies anyway. You know what I mean? I don't sit here now regretting that I didn't eat X, Y, and Z on different days. You'll never have that, will you?
Yeah.
You won't say, oh, I regretted that for the last 6 months. I haven't had pizza every day.
Yeah.
No one's going to say that.
No one's going to say that.
You'll only regret it. You know what I mean? So to me, it was like, well, it starts now, and I'm 40 in March. So it'd be nice to do something for that milestone as well.
That's beautiful. 40 in March, man.
Oh, man.
Big 4-0.
Time, man.
Well, you look amazing.
Thank
so
you.
for hitting 40, that's going to be beautiful. That is. I'm telling you now, man.
Yeah.
So like going back to Leighton Paul, a thing that everybody says, like I said to you in the beginning of the podcast, everybody says, buy a property, invest in it, live off the passive income, that same old thing, the BRR strategies, all these different things that you can do. How and what would you recommend to people? Let's say, forget all that, forget turning it into a business in that aspect, for just someone that wants to buy a home for the first time.
Okay.
What advice would you give to people?
Well, if the thing is now, if you want to look at buying, like a buy to let, for example, there was a time where I didn't care about yields. What yields is the percentage return you get on your investment. Yeah. I thought, well, forget yields, because if you've got a good solid house that's worth good money and you just pay it off, work towards. So some people call me mad for saying pay it off. That's my strategy, though. That's what I like to do. Yeah. Some people say, take everything out of it, buy another one. Yeah. But then that worries me, because when people did that and mortgage interest rates went up, they're probably, some of them paying the extra over the rent, on top of the rent, out their own pocket, because that's how it looked. Yeah. Everything has a ceiling value as well, and tenants were locked in for a certain amount of money, and you can only increase for a certain amount every year as well.
Of course, yeah.
So with me, I say, well, look at yields. If you try to aim for, say, between 7 to 10% yield, then go for that. Go for that, and make sure it's in the right hands. So go for that. Make sure, ask loads of questions at the start. Don't buy something, because if you buy a buy-to-let property, most likely it'll be the buy-to-let area, if you're going to go by the yields. And then another landlord might not see, will do the right due diligence at that time, and they'll probably turn around and say, we're not buying it. So you're going to have to wait for someone to buy it to live in, and that's a long time. So the key answer there is to wait and buy something. Don't rush into anything. Buy it when you know you're getting a good deal. Ask loads of questions to whoever's handling it, me or another estate agent. Make sure that the mortgage is fitting well and nicely in the rental income. The rental income is more than the mortgage. Doesn't have to be a lot more, but it needs to be comfortable enough. And it needs to be, you need to tell yourself, can I afford this with my salary?
Okay.
So if a tenant leaves 2-3 months, it's empty, for example, you have to do X, Y, Z to the property. Can I afford this in my salary? Yeah. Most areas in Wolverhampton are fine. You can buy, like just a general. Yeah. Most properties are fine, but you can't buy, say, for example, a £250,000 house, and that's only got a rental capacity of 1,300 quid. Yeah. Because your mortgage might be, your mortgage might be $2,000, 1,700 quid. Nothing surprises me now, the way things are going. Yeah. And then a lot of people catching on now to getting limited companies because your taxation liability is low. Yeah, yeah. But when you buy with a limited company, you have to pay arrangement fees for the mortgage. Some of them go to 10 grand.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, wow.
That's
So really, you save on the tax, but you pay with the arrangement fees. You know what I mean? And then it's like, but then what will happen is, if you don't want to pay that fee, they'll add it to your interest rates instead.
Mm-hmm.
So your interest rate just climbs.
Yeah.
So it becomes a harder and harder game. So it's, you definitely need to. It's nice to have them. You need to have them. You need to leave something for your kids. And I think what our parents did, or what other parents did for their kids, is that they had the investment properties. It was a survival life attitude at that time. They actually got the asset, but they never used their income. They just paid it off and said, here you go to your kids.
That's it.
So they did it. And then our attitude as a working people, our attitude is the same. You think, I ain't going to need it. I'm working. I'm making my money here. So this is for them. So it's a ripple effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
But as you keep passing it down the line, it's more. You know what I mean? It's a good attitude, and it extends your assets and your value. But at the same time, some people will turn around and say, no, pull all the money out, buy more, buy this, buy that. I've never been a believer of that. There's someone who might call me mad to say, debt is good and all that kind of stuff. And it is, because taxation-wise, the more you owe and, the liabilities that you got and the way it helps you getting more debt and all that, than taxation, it probably helps you. But I ain't about that strategy. I'm all about a bit of freedom. You know what I mean?
It's a bit safer as well.
Like, pay it off. Pay your tax on it. They know you know what I mean? You're going to pay
it anyway.
Yeah. Pay tax on it. And then if you ever need to release it, you can sell it and all that money's yours minus the capital gains or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's loads of different strategies. The best advice to someone who wants to buy a property for themselves to live in is just hold out until you can do it nicely once and for all.
That's
not a forever home. It doesn't have to be a forever home, but it has to be a comfortable move. And it also, you pay stamp duty, for example. Like when I bought my house, it was a big thing. Me and my wife, we actually we never viewed it to buy it. We just been nosy. She had half term. Business was quiet for me. And we were on the phone. She just rang me and she goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm on a right move." She said, "I'm on a right move as well." I said, "If you've got time, book yourself in one. Let's have a look." So when we got the money, but we'll see where we stand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We know what to look for. So she booked this one viewing in our house that we ended up buying anyway. But I fell in love with it. I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
And then, the money went there. There's money in the business. There was something here. There's something there. And we kind of consolidated it all, made it happen barely, but we did.
Yeah.
And then COVID
That's what you got to do, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Somebody, I said no at the start anyway. I said, no, I don't want it. I wanted it, but I didn't. I didn't want to do that where I wake up every morning thinking, oh my God, man, what have we done? I'm a bit scared at the time. I'm a bit more spontaneous now, but at that time I was a bit scared.
It's a big commitment.
It's a big commitment, isn't it? I don't think my mind took me to that point where my wife is very daring. You know what I mean? But it's different life, different upbringings, different setups. Obviously, when you got both your parents with you, you could see that, I can make a bit of a risk here and there. You know what I mean? I've got a bit of a safety net behind me.
Yeah.
With me, is like, you have to pace every move. You have to think of every move like, am I going to make the right? It's like chess.
100%.
Make the wrong move.
Yeah.
You're done. You know what I mean? So that was my attitude. I was a bit more like scared. And then when we bit the bullet and did it, COVID happened about 2 months after we completed, and the property just shot. And I thought, you know what? Happy days. Best thing I ever did. Her colleague said to her, he turned around, Mr. Lee Fellows, top bloke, he turned around and said, "You're working, you're going to be chipping away at something. Why don't you chip away at this?" And that stuck, man. I think it's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's true. Instead
of
doing something wrong and getting a car that's going to depreciate the minute you take it out of the showroom and doing all this kind of stuff,
great advice.
You know what I mean? And I thought he's damn right. And I thought, God, let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it. And we did, and never looked back. You know what I mean? And we did nice things, and making it nice for kids. And look at them and think, you jammy kids. I grew up on Lee Road. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's nice. Maybe they'll maintain that standard and take it further as well.
I was, like you've mentioned so many things, and you've said the terminology that you're using, like yields and things like this. Like my dad's in the property, like he's a builder, etc. So I've come across these terms before. I'm familiar with them. But for someone like yourself, is it really shocking at how much of a lack of education there is in this field?
Yeah.
Like, people have no clue. Or what is this? What's the situation like with people when they come to you? The majority?
So the thing is, strategy-wise, that someone in the finance game will now say, I'm so uneducated because I want to pay all my properties off and I'll happy to pay the tax. And they say, are you off your head? The thing is, that's why I'm comfortable. I've got landlords who are exactly the same, and they're doing well. They just think it's easier life, you know. But then when you got a person who don't know about yields and they say, "Oh, let's just buy the house," and then you go there and you say it's worth £1,000 a month, and they say, "No, put it on for 1,200," and it sits empty for 3-4 months when you're waiting for that person to turn up. You know, if you just took £1,000, at least you would have had £3,000 now. Now you're still on zero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you get in that position, but you still want to try. You still want to try. I mean, I can't fault them for that. Is that the government and the taxing and the Bank of England, all the interest rates, they've factored this because they've wanted to get the most out of it because of the liabilities. You know what I mean? The repayments and all that kind of stuff. That's why I'll go back by saying, you know, you do it when you know that you can cover everything yourself, because there are times where things don't happen. Last 2 months, I've had I've had so many listings.
Really?
I've hit records with listings. Guess what? People weren't coming forward. I wasn't getting tenants.
Wow.
Who would have thought that? You know what I mean?
Never think that.
You know what I mean? And the thing is, and don't get me wrong, we're very selective as well, but generally, like even in general, you know, like no one was coming forward. And so the lack of education is true, because you think, let's just get the asset.
Yeah.
But you got to work on how to run it as well. You know what I mean? You got to work on how much you got to do, not got to do. I'll get people who argue every expense they have to make. But that really makes me quite unhappy, because I think, well, you happily take someone's money, but you can't.
Yeah.
You don't go to a hotel room and not have a bed in there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You paid for the hotel room.
See, 100%. See, this is my argument. Like I always say, in schools, they have no clue, and I know I certainly didn't. I only know bits and bobs. That's because my dad's in the business. But I am so clueless to when it comes to, you know, doing these things. Why wasn't we taught something a bit more in school? Because you think about it, money and property, houses, you need somewhere to live, and you need money. We're not taught any life lessons about these. Could we not have maybe one less algebra class?
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let's have a property class.
Yeah.
It's like I'm very hands-on. I need practical stuff. So like you could read something from a book to me. You can give me stats, figures, statistics, and it ain't gonna gel until I have someone put it into perspective.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
It's like I learned this is so embarrassing. Yeah. I didn't actually realize the difference between a million and a billion until very recently.
Okay.
I know a billion's a larger amount than a million.
Yeah.
Obviously. But you don't, when you think about a million, you don't think anymore. You just think million, billion, whatever. Yeah. You're a millionaire, you're a billionaire. It don't matter. You just don't realize, you don't understand the actual scope of how big that is. And then you go further, a trillionaire. You can't fathom it until I did this little thought experiment. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think it was. So how many days is a million seconds?
Oh.
Top of your head. So how many days would a million seconds make?
How many days?
Yeah.
500?
Okay. It's 11.
What?
Okay? Yeah, that don't matter. So
what?
A million seconds is 11 days. Now, how many days, weeks, months, whatever, is a billion seconds? If a million is 11 days, how many is a billion?
1,100.
1,100 days. Yeah? That's the exact answer I gave. It's actually 31 years. With a few days. How mad is that? That's the difference. Between,
okay.
Yeah, that's the difference between a million and a billion. So when you put it in perspective, a millionaire is just 11 days. A millionaire is 11 dayer. That's all he's worth.
Mad.
A billionaire is worth 31 years. Now look at the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire. Now a trillionaire, you're looking at 31,000 years, something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
So now when you look and think about it, based on that perspective, I'm about 3 hours. Do you know what I mean? So, but when you look at it like that, it's broken down. You can understand the scale. Then you can use that tool, and you can think, well, look at your Jeff Bezos. You look at all these people, and then you think, well, hang on now, look at that's declared income.
Yeah.
Think about the ones that don't, the sheikhs.
Yeah.
You know, and the
100%.
royals and that. Like how much wealth is out there, and we have no clue. We can't see it now. Even less. Like our kids aren't going to be. They're going to be paperless. Everything's contactless. They're not going to understand the actual currency. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to get it. Everything's just tap. They're not going to understand anything. It's sad. I think obviously this little podcast is not going to change anything, but I really feel like in schools we need to have a lesson.
Yeah.
Where it has to be just life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, these are the things you need to understand.
I think school gears you up for the matrix.
Yes. It was school.
You know what I mean?
School gears you up to be a good worker.
Yeah, it does 100%. But the thing is, I think you have to think about your own life. You know what I mean? Like, one day doing this, choosing to just do all the fun things. You know what I mean? But what happens is people get into that position where they just want to go every day. They want to, I'm going to work. I got 25 days off a year, 30 days.
Yeah.
But you want to gear yourself up to say, yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to have to do that because that's just laying your foundations and building your structure. But the thing is, you don't want to do it until you're 67. You know what I mean? Yeah, that number keeps changing, by the way. 60, 64, 65, 67. You know what I mean?
Been 93 by the time we...
Our kids will probably say, yeah, you know what I mean? Like 70 or something, 75. Anything, you're waiting for that time to live. How many years you plan to live? 3 years after that? 4 years? You don't know, you know? So, and those lessons give you the tips to start now.
Yeah.
You know, and call it a day earlier.
Yeah.
You know, you can't keep waiting for that national pension, whether it's, you know, that government pension to come. You have to build it first straight away.
But people are so like, that's what they're working towards. That's their goal. Like where I work, it's a manufacturing plant. And so many people I speak to, they love a bit of overtime. Yeah. Like for them, like, Saturday's on or Sunday's on, we got the overtime. And like, they always saying to me, why don't you do overtime? Yeah. And I used to do so much back in the day. I'm like, now I've got like a business on the side. I've got the podcast, I've got other things. I'm trying to do everything I can to get out of here. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying my best to not do the 9 to 5 job. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I want more. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm on one side of the fence and they're on the other, and they're like, oh, it's too much stress. You know, just do this until I retire, have a little nest. And their whole aim in life is to just get that pension. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And like me, I'm thinking of stopping my pension. Do you know what I mean? I want every penny so I can invest it and get out of it. Do you know what I mean? But it's just again, like I said, I don't know if it's a lack of education or maybe it's just the way things are going now. Like you said, the it keeps going up.
I think it's real life people. You know, like, you know, it's going to be more interesting instead of making it all textbook exercise for a local successful person. And say, what did you do? You have two people that have someone from the school or someone like yourself. You question that person in front of all those kids and say, wow, I want to do that.
Yeah. And bring in someone that didn't make it.
Yeah.
So important to learn from people's mistakes and losses. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody wants to talk to the guy that won. Yeah. But I want to also speak to somebody who tried to do it and then can say, listen, don't make this mistake. This is what I did wrong. Do you know what I mean?
It goes in my business. If my business is orientated about making money, I wouldn't be where I am today. I don't think I would be. I mean, I'm not saying it like some kind of Elon Musk. I'm not saying like that. Yeah. Like, we wouldn't be where we are today as a business. Yeah. If it is money orientated, because people whiff onto that, it becomes a very unhuman way of being. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not about what you can get out of people; it's what you can do for people. Nice. You know what I mean? And I think that's a big one for me. And I think if your attitude is right towards anything you want to do, you can be the nicest. So are you going to end a shop? But there's a shop local to Penfields, because you've been from Penfields initially, weren't you?
Yeah. I had Jeffcock Road.
Yeah. Yes,
I used to have a corner shop there.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if you can relate to this or not, but I used to go to a shop.
You're not talking about my shop.
No, I'm not. I'm not. But I used to go there, and the guy at the till, he owned it. Miserable sod. You know what I mean? He asked for a carry bag, and he'll look at you like he has to take his wife on a date. The thing is, and he's like, bro, just give me a bag, man. You know what I mean? And he's like, you got about a whole basket full of stuff, and he'll give you one of the most weakest bags that you can see through. You're the one with the stripes on there. Yeah. I'll be like, okay, nice one, yeah. Anyway, I'd look around for a box, like if someone's stocking the shelves, I'll just take the box, you know what I mean? Like, saves you taking any, extra rubbish. Yeah. And you struggle, you get aggravated, but one or two times a bag split on the way home, you think, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Why are you doing that? Yeah.
But then I worked in a shop. I was a right laugh with the customers. You'd be good to them, and they come back.
100%.
They'll say, what's this any good? Oh no, but I had this today. This is lovely. It's not upselling. It's kind of upselling, but it's like natural. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they'll buy into it. They'll listen. Yeah. And I think talk about Jeff Gogg. I don't know. Like, there's one. Like, I think Hit. Do you know Hit? Yeah. And he got that family. They've got that good attitude.
Yeah.
Towards people, and people just stand around and talk to him, and they have they relate to something or another. You know what I mean? That's just an example. You know, same as Gary from Bangor Stores.
Yeah.
You go there and like they talk.
Yeah.
They have a relationship. He'll have a name for someone, like, you know, a nickname for someone or another.
Yeah.
And it's lovely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want to come back because of you.
That's it.
You know, everyone's going to sell the same Kingsmore love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's who you want to go to.
We love butter chicken. Okay, my kids love it. I love it. Mrs. loves it. Yeah. So we have a thing where we're always going for butter chicken, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, there's so many great places. You can go to all the pubs. Amazing. You can go to like Dudley Road. There's great ones there, whatever. Lakshmi's, okay, they don't do the best butter chicken. I'll say it now. Okay. But we always go there for food.
Okay.
Why? They treat my kids well, man.
That's good.
You get what I mean? Like, we can go to so many other places where it's a little bit better.
Yeah.
We can go there where the service is a little bit faster. We can go to the reason we keep going there is if you look after my kids without me having to do anything and say anything to you, it's like they will, like, she's actually once she came, she saw the high chair was a bit dirty without us saying anything. She said, "Oh, wait." She cleaned that. My kids sat in there. She noticed it wasn't strapped. She came back in, unless that was probably health and safety. Probably was scared of getting sued. But she came. She goes, "Would you mind?" I said, "No, okay." She put it on there, played with my kid, and then left. Yeah, and I was like, "Wow, really good." I thought maybe it's just her. Another day we came. How you doing, kids? Have you been to? What did you do at school today? Yeah. Had a little chat, and then we've been to some. Like, my kids are trying to interact with them, and I'm always saying, I always try and teach them. Your P's and Q's, they're free. Use them. So I'm always like, kids, what do you say? If anybody puts a napkin on the table, what do you say? Thank you. When they do it, they look adorable when they do it. Yeah. And I'm like, and I look at the person like, yeah. And the guy's like, and walks off. Yeah. I'm like, I want to throw the plate at his head and leave. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, it's true. They're the kids, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But people don't do that. Like you said, if you treat people right, they're going to want to always come
100%. I agree with that. I agree. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter how much it costs. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if, a little bit of difference in taste, whatever. If you're comfortable, you'll say that. Like, I think it's becoming a more thing now where I think people are not appreciating what the person who has walked through the door is doing from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they're so used, some of the busy places, they're so used to just like customers.
Yeah.
They've lost focus. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, don't forget that. Like there's days where I've gone into the office and it's like 2 people there, 2 people or 3 people. And I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Thank you, God, man, for this. I appreciate it because they're there for you.
They're there for you.
You know what I mean? Yeah. They're not in their own head there for you, but they're there for you.
Yeah.
And those that work there.
I realized that a long time ago. This is a bit off tangent, but we don't realize that this is just a job for people. Mm-hmm. Whereas, so my mother-in-law had an aneurysm in her brain. Mm-hmm. So she had an aneurysm is like you got nerves, and then like a vessel starts to swell, something like that. And instead of the blood flowing left to right, it starts swelling in like the joint. And then you get a ruptured aneurysm when that explodes.
Okay.
So that happened to her. 90% of the people that happens to, they're gone. And she survived. She was in hospital. And for us, we're like, this is the major, most important thing. But for people that are just nurses, they're doing an amazing job. Yeah. They saved her life. The doctor's amazing. Everything's great. But that's not their mom. That's not there. That's nothing to them.
Yeah.
That's just this person in this bed right now. Mm. When she leaves, next person's in there. It's just another day in the office. Do you know what I mean? You don't realize that, how desensitized people can get.
Yeah.
But they're not being cruel. It's just another day in the office for them. Same as my dad. I remember when he told me our Bibi passed away and went to India. And in India, oh man, obviously you can't control where you die. Just don't ever die in India. It's brutal, man. Yeah. So they put you on a chadar.
Yeah.
Okay. So when my dad went to like the morgue, let's call it, whatever they call it over there, to go, they came, literally tossed her on the floor, folded up the chadar, the white cloth, for the next person. So my dad walks in and he's like, what? He's kicking up saying, what the hell are you doing? That's my mom. Get her off the floor. And the guy was trying to explain to my dad that, I need this for the next corpse. I need to go for the next body. And my dad was obviously, it's his mom, so he's emotional and he's irrational, and he couldn't understand it. And then afterwards, one of the uncles tried to explain. He goes, that guy is not trying to insult you. He's not trying to be mean or nothing like that. What you need to understand is he's going to do 200 of these a day. Do you know what I mean? He needs that jadda. And he's just going to do that and go. They don't care. So like for us, I think naturally in England, someone bumps into us, we say please, we say sorry. We're naturally very apologetic. You know what I mean? We're very, we're like that.
100%, yeah.
But in other countries, you get an eye opener. People aren't like that, man.
Yeah, I agree. It's sad though. It's really sad
so
that
sad.
happened. You know what I mean? But it's true. I mean, in nearly every walk of life, there still needs to be a human factor. But that's them. That's their humanity. That's how they are as humans.
That's how they are, bro.
You know what I mean?
That's how they are.
That's how they are. I mean, it's not an insult to them, but they're just rugged like that. You know what I mean?
Rugged.
And it's true. I mean, look, when quick story, when my daughter, she's my eldest, she's 5 now. When she was born, she came in 25 weeks into the pregnancy.
Wow.
She was premature.
Extremely premature.
Yeah, like as in, so that there's not a graph, but like there's a fact sheet to say after 28 weeks, you're more or less safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's early. It's 3 months early. 3 months early, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're 3 months early, but you're developed enough.
Yeah.
25 weeks is, she came and
so like incubator.
Yeah, she came and she's like, looked like an alien, man.
Yeah.
Scary. She weighed 1 pound. Her skin was glowing red because because you can see the blood underneath it. It wasn't informed fully.
Oh my goodness.
And I remember sitting there and the consultant came in, and these consultants, I fall in love with them. Because the way they've got the knowledge, the way they talk, the way they compose and hold themselves, I think, wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the way they just, because it's different. It's like a different language.
Yeah.
It's technical stuff. But he said something. He said, I have to let you know, obviously, if the baby comes through now. My wife had to stay in hospital for about 5-6 days to say, stay as long as you can to keep the baby in as long as you can.
Mm-hmm.
She had to stay there for the next 3-4 months. She had to.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the case. Obviously, things were getting harder and harder. Basically, he turned around and he said, so looks like the baby's going to come this week. Yeah. And if the baby does come this week, there's 50% chance that the baby might not come out alive. And then if the baby does come out alive, then there's 50% chance that they have a disability.
Mm-hmm.
There's this bit, walks out. My wife's sitting like where you are. I'm sitting here, can't hear nothing. I'm just, like in your ears, you can't, everything just goes numb. And then when I stepped out of that, she goes, what's on your mind? And I started crying. I was in bits. You know what I mean? I said, how am I going to be a person responsible for bringing somebody into this world who A, doesn't even make it, or B, makes it but has an issue? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Like, how damning is that?
Terrifying.
And then, and the day she came, first thing I heard was a little cry, little squeaky, little screamy cry, innit? And that's massive. You feel like someone has taken a ton of bricks off your chest. You know what I mean? And then, but the people in the neonatal team, they were like, when you watch movies and you got like nurses who are like sisters and all, you know what I mean? Like proper overall outfits.
Yeah.
And they got each other back and the care and they're there all day. It was that vibe.
Nice.
And I swear to God, that 2 hours sitting there while they're registering and everything, doing all that kind of stuff. I never worried a day. COVID was the next day. National lockdown was the next day.
No way. You can't make it up.
I know. And the thing is, then the next day I wake up, I said, I want to see my daughter. We named her Mira.
Yeah.
Mira was, I like the name Mira. There's obviously Mirabai story and and I think Mira Kapoor as well. I like the name.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with her, but you know what I mean? I like the name. You know what I mean? I just thought it's a nice name. You don't hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then it's short for miracle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. You know what I mean? And the thing is, every day, man, you know what I mean? Like just stressing and thinking, what happens? And then I just stopped stressing. You know what? When I saw those people there, I thought, they've got us, man.
Yeah.
They've got our back. And the next day I woke up bright and early, dressed up nice, and the day my daughter. Because of lockdown, I couldn't go in. I wasn't allowed. It's either one or the other. So I said, my wife, you obviously, I still have to work in it. So the thing is, I go, if you're gonna only allowed one person for that particular day, I'll go on weekends. So it was made things hard, but because I knew they were there, there's someone from my uni that was there, like other people, like seniors, like at parents' age.
Yeah.
They took so much stress off you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as days went on, she had to work. She's there for 4 months trying to get to £4.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean? And when she got to that point where she was £4, we brought her home, but she came home on oxygen. You know what I mean? But now, you've probably seen on my
Yeah, I have, man. She runs around and everything.
now she's running park runs.
Yeah, wow.
And the consultant said we recommend that she don't run
yeah,
like big runs. She's killing.
she's smashing it.
She's doing 2 kilometers in like 15 minutes.
Whoa,
You know what I mean,
bro?
And I'm running with her. You know what I mean? That's the thing, you know what I mean? That relates to the weight loss. Like, they want to do these things. I still want to be quicker than her.
Amazing, bro.
And I'm always the one who's running in front of us, saying, "Come on, you know."
Yeah.
That would have happened a year ago. You know what I mean? So,
That's incredible.
yeah. So,
I believe you was also. Yeah,
really
2 months.
no way.
Yeah,
Madness.
Aman was born like tiny as well. Yeah,
No
that's
way.
right. Yeah.
Hard time at the beginning, you know, like there's so many factors, but you know, Wolverhampton neonatal, amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. And my brother-in-law, he's got twins, 2 lads.
Yeah.
And their neonatal was nothing in Bedford compared to Wolverhampton.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you know what? It wasn't human enough. It was more transactional.
Okay.
You know, and I think that's because obviously there's getting. I don't know. They're doing their job. I get it, but like what Wolverhampton did,
Yeah.
that might be normal. The Bedford one,
Yeah.
it might be normal across the whole country.
Mm.
That means Wolverhampton is the top tier.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Wolverhampton's smashed
That neonatal department. My God, that was. I had them all on Facebook. They're all my friends. You know,
that's
I always
nice.
when I post photos of my little one, they love it. They always comment. They always say, you know, she became one of them.
Yeah. So
You know what I mean? And I took her there once.
Did you?
When my second daughter was born,
Yeah.
I took her there. I went to that floor. And if they go to the floor, they came up to our floor.
But that's amazing.
So my wife was there every day. She made friends with them.
Yeah.
You know, getting that. Don't just go there. Just have a laugh with them.
That's nice.
You know what I mean? And
that's nice.
I remember when I was a lot bigger. Yeah, there's a funny story. I was a lot bigger. So one thing that helps with baby's development is skin to skin.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So obviously one of these neonatal nurses, she was like, yeah, she says Leighton next one. She goes, it's time to do skin to skin with your child.
Yeah.
And he must have been to going gym, innit? So that my man takes his top off like he's like he's the Rock. And I was like, I'm looking at him thinking, frick. Because I'm thinking, fucking hell, man. What am I supposed to do with it? And then next thing you know, she goes, okay, your turn, Dad. You know what I did? I had a round neck on it. I pulled it forward. I got fair in there, will you, bro? And then my man must have thought, mate, that's a nice top, man. You've moved.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey, well, topless, mate.
Yeah.
Think of that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like I would now, but still, at that time it was different, man. You know, about 22, 23 stone. I'm not putting his. You know, I just remember, man, squeezing her in. I thought I lost her halfway through. I was like, oh my god.
Oh, that's mad. Kids change absolutely everything about you, man. I did not expect, like, I used to be very I was very competitive, would hold a grudge. I was very like a toxic person I was before I had kids. And I was a very difficult person to be a friend of. That's what I believe. And as soon as I had kids, man, they took everything away. I say this to my missus all the time. I was like, they literally took everything I hated about myself. And they just threw it away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just because they're just like, I'm so narcissistic at the time. I was so like, life's about me. Everything's about me. In my world, I was the center of the universe. Soon as my eldest came, Amaya, and that was it. And I was like, oh, I don't exist anymore. Do you know what I mean? Everything's for this one.
Them,
You're nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what, though?
Crazy.
You know what? The love I mean, I've got 2 girls, you've got 3 girls. We can't say about like, compared to a boy, but the love the girls give you. Yeah. My God. You know what I mean? It's not just before I was getting ready to come here. I had a quick shower before I came out because I had a haircut. And last thing I want to do is we were scratching myself all over, you know what I mean? But I just put my watch on and stuff, and my 5-year-old said, Daddy, and she's got a little robot, little voice in it. She goes, Daddy. I go, yeah. But yes. And she goes, I love you. Oh man, I thought, man, you just giving me just put another 5 years of my life.
Boost,
you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
and that right there, man. It's like, you know, that love. And then she comes to our room every day about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. She'll leave her bed, get into our room and our bed. My wife kicks off and send her, take her back. I'm like, nah, you know, this ain't gonna last long. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I have like, imagine this is the bed. You know, I have this much.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I wake up grumpy in the morning. I'm like, no, that's fine. You know what I mean?
Just
there's a timeline on this. You know, before she starts saying, "Hey, bro, I ain't going in your room. Forget sleeping in your bed." It's fine. It's just fine. It's normal. But just them cuddles, you know, all that love.
How old's
Special.
your youngest one? 1. Oh, same as mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine just turned 1 as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She does my best every day, man. You know what? She calls her mum mummy. She calls me mummy as well.
How did you
Imagine, the modern world that we live in.
Yeah.
Imagine picking her up from nursery, queue full of other parents, and she runs at me saying, "Mummy!" I'm like, "There you are."
Why?
It's the modern day we live in, isn't it? Really?
It's one of those. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, let me just tell the captain, nothing wrong.
You
But
think
I
I'm
ain't
mommy?
So, and I'm like, no. Daddy say dada. And I'm like, what are you doing, man? And that's why I need to go aboard, man. And have a gold. She's that stone cold.
The problem is you did the same thing to raise them. You fed them the same food. You do the exact same stuff. But what's so shocking when it comes to kids is how different each one is. I got 3 kids, and every single one of them is batshit crazy in their own way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm so on my nose. Like all 3 of them have got their own personalities. All 3 of them, I have to speak to them in a different way. Obviously, the youngest one is the baby, but the other 2, 5 and 7, completely different. And I have to teach and train them in a different way as well.
Is the middle child syndrome happening?
It's happening.
Is it?
It's happening, man. It's happening.
That makes me not want to have a third.
It's not only that, it's sad. It's sad, you know, because she's had to grow up. Like, I forget she's 5 years old. She's still a baby. 5-year-old's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, same as yours, 5 years old.
Yeah.
I forget that. And I'm treating her like she should be older because the other one's a baby. So I'm goo-goo gargling the little one. And what I forget
That's the
is,
same as me, I think.
yeah, and that one needs a cuddle. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes she'll just stand around, and she's broke my heart the other day. My eldest broke my heart actually the other day. She came and I said, grow up, you're not a baby. I said something like that. She was crying over something silly. I said, grow up, you're not a baby. And then she mumbled something under her breath. And then my wife heard it. And then my wife came running to me, grabbed her, and she said, stop doing what you're doing. I was doing something on the laptop. She shut the laptop. She goes, listen to what she just said. I said, what? And Maya said, she goes, oh no, I'm not daddy's baby anymore. And as soon as she said that, I was like, right, get in the car. We're going to Smith's. I said, leave the other 2 here. I said, you're daddy's baby. You're daddy's number 1. You know what I mean? So I started doing that. But then the others are listening. The middle one's now listening. And she's like, what about me? I'm like, oh, man.
You know what it is, though? That aside, it's life in general.
Yeah.
Like, you get all the school stuff, keeping up with the other kid. You know what I mean? Like, because you talk to these parents and no, it's not a competition. If their kid's doing great, good for them. You know what I mean? I want them to carry on doing great. It's not that, but you just want yours to keep to that level, that track as well.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, you are the company you keep, isn't it? You know what I mean? And it starts from a very young age.
Yeah.
And so we take ours to Kumon, and at night my wife's doing all my wife handles the education stuff because she's the head teacher.
Yeah.
Does makes sense. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's not like her telling her about mortgages and house stuff, and me telling them how to do, you know, +3 or you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense, does it? And even it doesn't make sense to my wife either. She's like, you should be doing educational stuff as well. I was like, you're the teacher, bro. You know
Not just a teacher, you're the head teacher.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you don't, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It's like the chef showing the kid how to cook, how to hoover, and the housekeeper showing the kid how to cook. You know what I mean? What the hell? You know what I mean? So to me, it's like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. You've got to have your hand in it. You know what I mean? You've got to understand certain things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the principal person should be...
You teach them, educate them, and when they need to buy a house,
yeah,
I'll sort it out.
I've got the rest. You know what I mean? I'll cover it. You know, it's true, isn't it? You know what I mean?
That's it.
I won't even let my wife get involved. We'll just tell her we bought it. You know what I mean? The thing is... So... You know what I mean? Like, the thing is, the amount of pressure that they go through at this age.
Yeah, man.
I don't think this is a key stage for like a 5-year-old, because I think they're learning how to read now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And they're learning how to do this and that, and it's massive, isn't it? And then these groups in school, like if you're in blue group, pink group, and this yellow group, and you think, oh, that person in that group, I want to aspire to that. It's lovely for them to have that motivation, but don't stop being kids.
Don't stop being kids.
You know what I mean? But don't you stop.
Yeah.
You know, and take not just you, I was saying myself as well, because I'm the same. Like, it happened before we left. My daughter said, Daddy picked me up, but I was too busy sorting the dinners out. So I can't. I'm busy doing your dinners.
Yeah.
She got over it. But you know what I mean? If you put yourself in her body and see how you'd have felt, you know what I mean? It's not very nice.
It's not nice. And it's also like the worst thing you can do for your kids is it's called the strangling mother, the suffocating mother.
Okay.
And what basically it means is you got to let them make mistakes.
Yeah.
You got to let them do what they got to do. And I've seen the difference. And so like with my first one, we mollycoddled her. before she fell, I was there with a pillow.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know what I mean? I saw her, I dart across the room,
Yeah.
dive on the floor,
Yeah, yeah,
grab her, like, Daddy's got you. She, everything, like my phone is covered with my old phone when she was born.
Yeah.
Covered with nappy pictures.
Okay.
Just logs of shit everywhere, bro. Because I was so paranoid.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that one doesn't look right. Take a picture. I'm gonna send this to the doctor. Do you know what I mean? I was constantly doing shit like that. You know, I was doing so much stuff that, you know, people think, oh, definitely new parent.
Yeah.
So then when the middle one came, me and my wife, we agreed. We said, we had a miscarriage, quite a bad miscarriage. So we had to we stopped and we thought, you know, let's just stop. It took a long time for my wife to get over that.
Yeah.
And it was devastating for her. And then this one just popped along.
Okay.
So then we were like, oh, okay. At the time, then the focus was, let's just hope this baby makes it. Yeah, nothing else. So when the baby came, we never had a time to plan what we're going to do with a second child.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we never had no plan for her. So when she came, it was just less mollycoddling. We just knew we can't spoil her like we spoiled the other one. There was a slight difference. Just not a lot, but there was a slight difference.
Yeah.
The third one, bro.
Yeah.
I sometimes don't know which room she's in.
Oh,
I'm not joking, bro. You've seen our house like open plan.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll be watching something. And I'm like, babe, you got her. And, and my wife's in the kitchen going, I thought you had her. And I'm like, where is she? And she's like on the second step trying to. And I'm like, oh no, we've left her to it, and she's feral. She's absolutely feral. She's a little monster, bro. And like I'm seeing it now. I'm like, yeah, and I'm liking it because she falls over, and no one runs to her. We check the floor as if she dented it. We check what she ran into, how she stabbed it, because she's an absolute, she's a little, you know what she's like. She's an absolute monster.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that what I did with my oldest, you could sneeze in the other room and she'll come crying saying, that really affected my ears. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's so like, she gets like that. And the middle one's a little bit like that. And the youngest one is. So my advice to anyone, it's so easy said than done. But I would say is let them survive, learn some survival techniques.
Yeah.
Got to leave them to it.
I agree.
But it's so hard.
I agree. No, it's true. But, you know, as time goes on, you know, you just experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's experience, I think. It is mad.
And there's no right and wrong way.
No, there's not.
People like have parents, become parents for the first time. They always get overwhelmed by people's advice. And I always say, look, the one thing Mother Nature did was make us to have kids.
Yeah.
You know, so we can't, don't get me wrong, there's some messed up people in the world that had some poor upbringings.
Yeah.
But the basics, you'll figure it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, don't put that much milk in, don't do this, and this temperature and that. Listen, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And when you figure it out, that's your way.
That's your way.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
don't worry about
balances that to be the way you wanted it.
That's it.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Do you reckon you have any more?
I don't know. When I hitting 40,
yeah,
I always have this thing when you get to 50. Like, if you have a kid at this age, say after 40, and you're 50, and they're gonna be 10, like how long will you have left? And
I do the exact same maths. I mean? That's dad maths.
Yeah. And I think to myself, I think, well, fair on them if you're old and you know tip the bucket and they're just figuring life out without any wisdom or you know, not that we're wise, but you know what I mean, with that life experience that we've got, you know what I mean. So you know, like it's quite. Someone told me, I forgot who it was. They said I was on the phone to someone. I've never met her, but she's like sorting out my car lease deal, and we're talking just generally afterwards. She was really lovely, actually. She's just bubbly, you know what I mean. And she turned around and she said, "I was adopted, but my parents are old. So when I was 30, when I turned 30, my dad turned 87. Passed away about 1 or 2 years later. I was like, 30 years old is nothing, man. Yeah. And my best mate, Damien, he lost both his parents before 30, you know. And, you know, that guy, you can have him, you know, he make you laugh. He'd be a little bit laugh, just listen to how he talks. You don't say sorry, you say sholly, you know, just the way he laugh, right? But he's the loveliest bloke you'll ever meet. Okay. You know, we just take the mick out of each other. That's what best mates do.
Yeah, of course.
But he never changed his attitude. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he never changed the way he was. And he's always been that same happy, bubbly guy. Like, we'll go to other mates' houses. Like, my mates might say, come round. I was with Damien, but they don't know him. But they say, yeah, we've seen him on his Snapchat, man. Just bring him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, like, we're just ripping each other and it's, like, entertaining for them. You know what I mean? It's just, but there's a lot of love there. You know what I mean? Like, nice. I make it my job to make sure he's all right. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he makes it his job to make sure I'm all right. That's just the way it is. You know,
You need that.
We get in the car in the morning. First person I call. He gets in the car on the first person he'll call.
Yeah.
And during the day, his job's a lot on the road. I'll do a lot on the road as obviously going to property. So it's just that thing.
Yeah, you need.
But I think sometimes life can be cruel, and they were already young. They're like 50, 49, 50. His parents were. They're not old at all. It was cancer that took both of them. And like, but the thing is, you still stayed happy and positive, and that positive outlook of life shapes everything, man.
Yeah, it does, man.
You know what I mean?
It
It shapes everything, and you know, I look at him and I think that positivity, the way he's infectious to people,
Yeah.
the way he's just him being him, just the way he talks, just the way he is.
Oh,
You know what I mean? He'll always make friends. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I'll tell you a quick story. Me, Novi, and him. No, me and him were going to Parkfield Central, watch a Liverpool and Bournemouth game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan, and watch a Liverpool Bournemouth game, and basically, what happened was he met Novi.
Okay.
Novi was in the car park and we saw each other, and I said, Novi, you're not sitting anywhere else now. So if you've got friends, we're sitting all together because you know what I mean. You're one of us, man. You know, you're a boy. So not put us sitting in different places now. We're staying together. Stay together. And Novi had his mate with him.
Yeah.
Damien and Novi's mate swapped numbers.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, Damien, you pulled. But it was such a good thing. You know what I mean? Like
He sounds like a
now, if we go there again,
yeah.
Novi's already said it. You know what I mean? Like he's already said it. He
Let
said,
me know. Yeah.
we're going together. We're such a laugh.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean? Like it
That's
doesn't happen. That doesn't. You could say that person was nice and all that stuff, and then you might hope to bump into him. But like when you're saying the next time you go, we're going together.
Yeah.
And that guy was a lovely chap as well. You know what I mean? Like it'd be a pleasure to do it again.
Yeah.
So you know when you got people of that kind of personality, it just works, doesn't it?
You know, a big problem is this. It's that pride.
Yeah.
You know, like I've lost so many friends and so many people that I was so not even like there's been no argument, there's been no issue, there's no problems. But I'll say this to anyone that's young, you don't realize it until you're older, but you're going to lose 80% of the people that you want to stay in touch with just because you couldn't be asked to pick up the phone.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And then that absence creates contention because you'll see them do something on social media. Social media shows you what everyone's doing. You're watching them do things, and then in your head, you're creating stories. You're saying, oh, I could invite me to that. Oh, I should. You're not realizing that you're also not inviting them to stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a two-way road.
Yeah.
But you're going to lose these people in the long run. And we don't realize that. It's so important to just, my Uncle Raj, shout out to Jindy Mama. I haven't given him a shout out. Yeah, I said I would.
Yeah.
So like my mama, he is in his 50s.
Yeah.
But I have never known someone to be so popular. It's unbelievable.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like the amount of people that are at his house at all times, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I always sit down and like when you speak to him, you realize why. He'll go on his phone. If he sees something on like Facebook and his mate's done something, he'll stop. Give me a second, Sonny. And he'll ring. Nice. I like that. Brilliant. Fair play to you.
Nice.
And instead of just that silly button,
Yeah.
anyone can like. People like things on socials, and then when they see them in real life, walk past them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I have that.
Yeah. So like, but to do that and stay in touch, that's why everyone loves him, because he loves everybody else.
Come from pure place, isn't it?
That's it. But like me, like I've lost so many friends because of my fault as well, because just haven't stayed in touch. Nothing's happened. But now there's just an unspoken beef. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It happens.
You can feel that there's a tension in the middle of it. You know what I mean?
People need to let go of all of these things and realize life is so short, man.
Yeah.
Life is
No,
ridiculously
it's
short.
true. It's true. But the thing is, some things can be changed, some can't.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like you can want it, but then they may not want it.
Yeah,
You
there
know?
is that.
They can just be so indulged in their setup that they don't want to factor you in it.
Yeah,
Which is fine.
it's
You know
just
what I mean?
fine. Yeah,
Because that means at least you know that you did your best. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But equally, you'll see someone after all these years, like, and it'll be like you never left them.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That I always say.
Yeah.
That's me and Novi. That is
Yeah.
me and Novi will speak to each other maybe after a month.
Yeah.
And it will never be longer than that. Around then, but we will honestly pick up from the conversation we left off.
Yeah.
Did you do that? Yeah, I did it. And then we're off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then we'll always say, "Oh, don't leave it too long this time." Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
We end up.
So there's no ego in that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
that's it.
more understanding than
There
anything
you go.
else.
There you go.
And that's true. You know,
Yeah.
with Damien, if I don't answer his call on the weekend, I'm like, Damien, get your words out, bro. You know what I mean? You don't call me I was lonely all week. Like, I was you lonely, bro? We just share the bed with you. You know what I mean? So
We gotta get Damien on the podcast.
We need it, man. We need it. I'll be sitting there. I can't as long as I can sit next to him, man, and ask him some questions as well.
Mickey, you've been an absolute legend,
bro, man.
You know, you were everything I knew you was gonna be on the podcast. Because I know outside of thingy, but yeah, I was like, man, I hope everyone gets to see the real Mickey. And man, we got the real version. Thank you so much for coming. First of all, tell me, where can people reach you? Let's look at socials and
so if you on Facebook, it's Mickey C.
Mm-hmm.
So Mickey CEE, and Instagram is Mickey C1.
Okay.
Yep. MICKEYCEE1. And Leighton Paul Property is exactly as it's LEIGHTON.
Where'd the name come from?
So, I used to work for a company called Martin.
Yeah.
And Martin is my name. Martin Suresh Paul Chander. That's my actual name, given name on my birth certificate.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
Martin Suresh Paul Chander.
Yeah.
And so I thought, let's just take out, the nice Western parts of these names.
Yeah.
And make a business. You know what I mean? That's be my business name, know?
Okay.
Raymond Eaton, Pete James,
yeah,
Harvey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they've done it.
Yeah.
Fair play to them, and
nice.
Congratulations to them for where they are today. Nick Tart, all of them. You know what I mean? Sanders, Wright, Freeman. They've done it. You know what I mean? So you got to give them to them, and they've run a business with their names in it. So
100%.
Full respect to them.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, I'll put my names in there.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, as I worked for Martin, I had a word with the owner at the time, and he said, if it doesn't work out, you know where I am. It's very nice of him and all that. Respect to him for obviously saying that. But then what happened was, after 6 months, business took off. From month one, it was happening. You know what I mean? People found me. They're like, we're looking for you. We knew you left. I would have thought you would have opened your own. We found out this is you. We come to you now. Happy days. We got busy. We knew that we can kind of cover our costs. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was everything I wanted to do.
Yeah.
At the initial stage, obviously, and then one random Friday, looking forward to the weekend, postman just finds me. Just while I was going to the car, he goes, "You got to sign for this." On this A4 envelope, and opened it in the car. A big London-based company, big London-based company. Is just saying we're going to have you for trademark.
Oh,
and because he copied our name. And at the start, I was like, I'm going to fight this. You know what I mean? But I thought, these people are massive. You know what I mean? Like, compared to me. I said, you know what? No problem. I'll change it. Happy days. Yeah. So you can have your whoops and your high fives in your head office. They're, we done it here. We won. Good for you. I've changed it.
Yeah.
And guess what? Still ran, still happened. You know what I mean? Not really cocky, no way. Nothing knocked me off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
but they didn't go for how your name and logo and brand and color scheme looks. They're going for what people are talking about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because of that, at that time, I lived on a road called Leighton Road.
Okay.
I thought of everything, man. That's all I could come up with at the time. Do I put this person's name or do I do this? But then, well, you don't just find the name. There are other names that I found that or I didn't have no kids at that time. You know what I mean? Either, so that didn't help. So I didn't want. What else could I? You know. And it just worked. Nothing was working.
Yeah.
And then, but you don't just look at the name. You look at the domain. How does it look? So before it was martinpaulproperty.com. You know what I mean? I think that's quite long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas Leighton Paul's quick and easy.
Yes.
And I had leightonpaul.com.
Yeah.
Everything just becoming better. But then it cost a lot of money. Money I didn't really have, or money I didn't have money for that. You know what I mean? At the time.
Yeah.
It still cost me about 10 grand. Okay. To change logos, change your car wrapping, change your sign above the. I had a wicked LED sign for Martin Paul.
No way.
But then this one I couldn't afford. The one I had changed it to, I couldn't afford it. I just had to get a board with plug-in.
Yeah.
It's fine. You know what I mean? It still shows people what it is.
Yeah.
But I went in on this business with started the business with 8 grand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's all I had at the time to do it. But I thought it's a risk. It's fine. I found the smallest office, the cheapest rent.
Yeah.
The rent was like 4 grand a year. It's probably square footage is probably the same size as this room.
Yeah.
For an office to get 3 people in there all day. Not as wide as this room though. Probably up to where that camera is. You know what I mean? So I had to just working there for 7.5, 8 hours a day, 9 hours, 10 hours a day. It just wasn't working. And then to spend all the money to change your logos and everything,
It's too much.
it wasn't nice. But at the same time, everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean? And
That's nice, man.
I appreciate that happening because then it sets us different. We don't look the same as them, and we don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they probably were right in what they said at the time.
Yeah.
But to me, it was a it was a bit of a bad thing at the time, but it is what it is.
But what I like is there's an origin story to Leighton Paul.
Yeah.
Because I thought when I first time I ever saw it, I saw it on your socials, and then I thought Leighton was the last name of your partner.
Oh,
So I thought you're with someone else, and you've got your last name Paul in there, and
Yeah.
they've got their last name in there, Leighton. And I was like, I wonder whose partner is.
yeah. Could be. Yeah. Somebody said that to me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
somebody texted me and goes, tax fraud. I thought, how? Where did that come from? I deleted him. He was an annoying guy anyway, man. So I
don't
deleted him.
blame
I thought, what kind of nonsense is that? One big thing for me, every time I get a bill, corporation tax, VAT, EAYE, and
Yeah.
you know, your the tax that you take off your employees.
Yeah.
When that letter comes from my accountant to pay him, that's the first thing I do. If I'm driving, I will park up and
Pull up and pay that.
you know what I mean? I'm
Good,
big
man.
on that. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Don't take nothing out of the business at all. Taxes paid.
Yeah.
Because you've got to take that stuff serious.
Yeah,
You know what I
man. Trust me, in the long run, that'll come back.
Yeah, you're 100%.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so you know, so to hear that from that joker, I thought,
Yeah. Nah.
are you right? I was
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? So yeah, annoying guy. Yeah.
Vicky, on that
Yeah.
note, thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
bro.
And
No
you're
problem.
always welcome back in the Appauling podcast, bro.
Lovely, thank you.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing.